Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
just hit it on mine.
nice. Oh, oops, I didn't do add everyone. Edit. Add everyone. Okay. And then what? Let me see if I'm live on YouTube just to see if this works. Um,
So just so you know, the name of my stream is Discrimination Against Balds. Zombie and Copilot podcast.
okay,
So
nice.
it's just clickbait. I don't know what'll happen with it, but we're just gonna ship it. So
Oh, mine is working. Nice. Let me see if this works. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah, I see you live.
Nice. Okay.
All right, I'm going live.
Okay. One second.
Ba, 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 ba. We need a starting screen.
Yeah, I
Now that
mean,
I think
what
about it.
about mine? My what's how's my song go? Badoo badee or something? Badoo
Oh,
badee.
that's so annoying,
It
dude.
is
And you
so
have it going
good.
for
30 minutes.
20 minutes. And it's like, brother, you got one person in the lobby waiting. What do you have? What are you keeping us freaking sitting here for, dude?
Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, man, I am ready. What's up?
Okay, hey, not much. How was your week?
Pretty bad, actually. Well,
Oh
not
no.
bad, just not great. Um, yeah, I mean, I guess kind of the biggest news. So last, sorry, I'm checking a lot of stuff. Okay. Wait, talk really quick.
Check one two. Check one two. Is it working?
Perfect. Yeah, so you're not muted again.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Huge,
because you
huge
muted me
ups.
last time. Yeah.
Yeah, you were muted. That was my bad, my bad. But yeah, so the big news of my life right now is my hernia, right?
Yes.
So I officially am not supposed to be lifting, um, is what you would think, but joke's on you. Because yesterday I went to the general surgeon and I was like, hey, I have a hernia. She's like, great. We looked at your ultrasound. So I got an ultrasound the other day. I don't know if you've ever got an ultrasound in the region where you have a hernia, but it is an experience. So got the ultrasound and they couldn't find anything.
Okay.
So so the doctor was like, "Hey, we couldn't really see anything. So it's something that we got to talk about this."
Okay.
She's like, "Are you sure you have a hernia?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure. I've had two before. I'm pretty familiar with it. I'm not like physically in pain or anything, and I'm also not pregnant. Biased. Thank you. Welcome. However, yeah. So I'm not like in super bad pain or anything, but I know I definitely have one. It's just not kind of sticking out right now. So then I got a dude. You're popping off.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry. Sorry. Oh, you mean people?
You're yeah, dude. You're famous.
I'm famous.
But yeah. So yeah, so I went and she examined me, which again, if you've ever been checked for a hernia, you know it's a very intimate process. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm just not feeling anything." I was like, "You know what? I get it." So basically, I asked her, "I know I have it. It's not popping out right now. Can I go work out?" And she's like, "I mean, yeah,
Oh.
a little bit." I was
Okay.
like, "Great." So I can now work out again until my hernia pops out, and then I can go back to the doctor and get it operated on. So that was the big news. Is I hit the gym for the first time this morning and
Okay.
took it super light. I lost all of my strength in the last 3 weeks from quitting all lifting. But I was in there 5 o'clock, hit it hard for 30 minutes, hard and light, whatever. And now we're gravy.
So you
So
got a
now I'm
pump.
feeling. I got a little bit of a pump on. But yeah, so that just means I basically have to go to the gym until I can get my hernia to pop back out, and then I can go get it fixed. So that was the story of my week.
You just gotta lift harder.
I mean, so today I hit upper body to kind of ease into it. Tomorrow I'm hitting legs.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to be popping out at the end of that, brother, but I'm kind of worried, man.
We'll have a good update for next week.
Yeah, I mean, if I make it back, dude, I might end up in the emergency room.
Hey,
But
that's some dedication though. Kind of working through it, trying to find a way to get it done. I like that.
yeah, well, just a quick story. I had a hernia in boot camp, and every
Okay.
night, maybe I've already told this, I don't know, but I got a hernia like the second or the third week, and boot camp's what, 13 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
You don't know, you're an
And
officer.
mine was 10 weeks.
So yeah, it must be nice, dude. So I would basically every night I would lay down. I could feel this hernia sticking out, right? Like it's going like straight into my nuts. It's a tough spot, right? So I feel it, and then every night in boot camp when they're blasting taps or whatever,
Yep.
I would lay in bed. I would push my hernia back in to my body, and I could feel it slipping through the hole to go back into my main abdomen as opposed to being in like my testicular region.
This is awful.
And I did that every day through boot camp. And again, you don't know, but boot camp's kind of hard, So it's like hiking, you're running, you're working out every day, you're getting beat up. And yeah, dude, I'm just sitting there freaking just popping my nuts back in every night. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that.
Popping the nuts back in. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my week. That was my trauma dump. Tell me about you.
Man. Okay, well, I completely failed on our my task that we talked about last week.
Okay, really quick, fill in the listeners on what you failed at. What was your task, and why was it important?
So last week we talked about how I am just a super extrovert, and CP here can't bench 225 and you can't ask for a spot. So I was going to give him a lesson on how to ask for a spot at the gym. I was like, super easy. We had this great energy. We're like, hey, film some content about how to ask for a spot. I was like, easy. I'm just going to be myself. And so I actually told my workout buddy, and I show up, and I even brought my little tripod and everything. And it was like the perfect day because literally we walk in, and the guy next to us was like, I'm going to try to hit 290 today. Can you spot me? And I was like, sure, I got you. But I didn't want to like set the camera up right away. I didn't want to be like, hey man, I'm going to film this. So I was like, we'll do this and then I'll do my thing. And then I was like, I got in my head. I'm like, Kevin, should I record it? Should I talk first? Should I like do? And I just started overthinking it. And next thing you know, we're like two sets in, and I'm like, well, screw this. I'll just do it later. So okay, but here's the thing. But now I'm actually remotivated today. I am remotivated mainly because I knew I would have to tell you how I'm a failure. So I already texted Kevin. I said, hey, we are doing the video tomorrow, okay? And so he's like, bet. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna record the stuff, and then I'm gonna do a voiceover, kind of like the thing you showed me, or the guy talking to it later. And he's like, it was really funny. What did he text me? He said, this is the funniest thing too. He said, yeah, let's get the footage tomorrow, and then we'll do the voiceovers. I'll have to approve the script though. No, don't be like this little bitch here and think you can rep without a spot. That's what he said. So we're locked in tomorrow. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be good. But yeah, I kind of failed. I don't know. You know how extroverted I am. I was actually like kind of like not nervous, but like I was like I didn't know what to do, and so I was like, oh, this will be stupid. And I don't have a plan, so I kind of shied away.
Okay, let's talk about your failure. Really quick, I need that because I'm at the gym again, right? So I need your instruction.
Now I know because
And
I thought you weren't going
checking.
to be lifting, so I was like, I don't want to force you back into it and be popping your nutsack back in and out. Like I was like, okay, but now we're good with it, so.
Yeah, now that that's like par for the course. Yeah, I need those instructions because this morning I was like, oh, maybe I could ask for a spot, even though I was only doing like 185 bench. But I was like, mate, I haven't been here for a while. Maybe I should ask for a spot. And I didn't know how.
Yeah.
And all the regulars were there and all the homies, and I couldn't do anything because I didn't. I was checking.
Yeah,
I checked for like 2 or 3 days afterwards.
Like refresh.
And I didn't see anything. And I was like, I know you're at the gym. I know you're running around. I know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now I know why.
I failed miserably. I failed, but I am ready for it tomorrow. It's going to be good. Also, I actually posted in my Instagram for the first time today for like 10 days, and it was really lame. It was like me talking to the camera saying, hey guys, I haven't posted in a while. So it's like super lame. But I was talking to people at work, and they were like, we were just kind of talking about social media and Instagram and posting and like positive vibes that people send, and like that one message where someone says, oh, thank you, it's worth it. And they like, I was getting fired up. I was like, oh, I have my episode tonight. I'm supposed to record this thing. And so I posted, and then I had like 4 people message me, hey, post, your stuff is always motivating. Keep it coming. I'm going to make sure I follow. Someone texted me saying, I'm going to do my progress photo tomorrow. I'll send it to you. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm important. I need that validation.
Dude, you have got to get back on track, man.
I know.
Okay?
I have no purpose
Come
after
on.
the bodybuilding. It broke me. It broke me physically and mentally.
Man, well, we got to fix that, dude. I know that you were feeling a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
About like, oh, what do I do? Whatever. I mean, weren't you nervous the first time you fired up a stream?
I don't know. Maybe.
Dude, I was. I remember I fired it up and I was like, there's nobody watching, but I was like, what happens if this, like doesn't go well or whatever? And I was all nervous. And then by like the second week, I was like cruising. I had 2 followers. I was just, it was go time. Same thing with content creation, right?
I mean, it's actually, I guess, easier because if it doesn't go well, I just delete the shit. You know what I mean? Whereas live, it's out there, Like,
yeah.
I don't have to post it. I could be like, oh, it doesn't look good. But I think me being authentic, I would need the mess ups. I would need like, oh shoot, oops, like just like something like that. Can you imagine me being like, okay guys, let me show you how you do some reps without a spotter, and then I'm like, Kevin, like literally help, I can't get it up. It's like, oh.
Dude, you could be so good. You could be so good. Okay. Yeah. Just be good.
I'm sending it tomorrow. Dude, okay, so I'm transitioning here. When you just said that, just be good, I don't know if I told you about how I was like, I asked my boss how I was doing come like December. I was like, yeah, I need a little update, a check. And he's like, Zach, do you, you're kind of self-deprecating, like you're better than you think you are. And I was like, well, I was trying to give him my history and a context or whatever. And then he's like, tell me what you really think. I'm like, well, honestly, I do think I'm better than a lot of my peers. Like, I am better. He's like, then just be better. And I'm like, oh, okay. See, so you're saying just be good, just be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I will have that tomorrow. It is chest day tomorrow, so it's like a perfect day to show, how to spot and video some things. The good thing is I have my, you saw how I'm an accountability partner for people. My accountability partner, Kevin, now knows. I told him my plan, and he will hold me accountable. See, because he's good at that kind of stuff. Not necessarily lifting, but he's good at the thing of making me do my content. So, yeah.
No, that's good. I think once you start doing that kind of thing, where it's not just like, hey, so it's day 15. I'm kind of hungry, like come on, like give me a break. But if you start freaking like jumping on it, you're like, hey guys, I had a friend. He was asking me, how do you ask somebody how to spot? Let me freaking show you real quick. And then you freaking hit that trash with your friend Kevin, and then that's it. And then you post it, and people are like, wow, now I know how to ask for a spot at the gym by a buff guy who's also seems to be pretty open to giving advice, approachable, etc., etc.
Yes.
Yes. Like give me something that I can use.
Okay.
I can't use, you being tired on your 15th day of prep. Do it for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it for you. Not anyone else, not for me, not for my own satisfaction, but for you. And I'm gonna text you. Well, and actually, you did text me the following day at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, it is 4 a.m. your time. What are you doing up?
Dude, you have no
You should
idea,
have gotten
man.
up earlier because you should have texted me at 5 a.m. my time and said, "Yo, get the video." But see, I was already done the gym by the time you texted me.
You know, like the truth is, sometimes I'm actually awake at 2 a.m. So I might hit you up next time and be like, hey, make sure to get my video.
Like low key, when you texted me last week, I was like, I hope he doesn't ask me if I recorded the video. I was like,
Don't worry, I'm not a micromanager. I know you'll get to it when you get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I will make you a deal. I'll make you a deal.
Okay.
If you record this video and it gets 20 likes
Okay.
and 500 views,
Mhm.
which I don't think is super hard for a short or whatever, wherever you post it.
Mhm.
If you can get that, then I will record myself asking for a spot
Oh, I like this.
and
Well,
getting
then
a
You
spot.
should be like, and then what you do is when you record it, you say, "I'm going to use Zach's techniques," like, and I'll make a checklist.
Perfect.
Number 1, don't be small. Number 2, like, so number 2, wear a
Put on
pump.
way more weight than you can actually
Yeah.
lift.
Minimum requirement 2 plates, so you can't ask.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I will commit to that. And I don't know how to like loop people in, you know, how you do like where you're answering somebody,
Okay,
but
yeah,
I'll figure it out.
You
I'll
like
do
tag
that.
them or something, or you at them, or you do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I will do that. I'm excited about it now. I'm re-energized, and also I think I'm just re-energized because I have food now in me. I'm
Yeah.
a month out of this hazy myself. I'm back. I still have body dysmorphia, so I'm trying to manage that. But
That's good.
yeah. But my boss is gone all week and next week, and so therefore I have less stress. I am less stressed, so this is good. So I think I'll have more time to focus on these important things.
No, it's definitely a priority. Uh,
yeah. That's like work, bills, all this. Okay, no, this stuff. But
like last week we talked about what was it? Didn't we talk about like you getting your act together, kind of like reestablishing what your long-term goals are and everything.
yeah.
Any progress in that? I know that you're kind of like mixing up your training a little bit.
So
And then also at work, you said you're going to kind of ramp up.
Yeah, so with I'll start with the work stuff so that we get the boring things out of the way. So this summer is going to be a big transition. We have a lot of people transitioning or whatever, and it's going to be a great opportunity for me to be more assertive in helping the culture. I'll say, because a lot of people are rotating out, and so I'll be able to bring the new people on board, the new people with my positive vibes. So I think that's good because when people come in, it's like dap them up. How you doing? I'm not very over like knife handing and stuff. I'm like, hey, how do you want to do things? Let me show you how we do it here. Oh, you don't like it? That's okay. Like just the vibes like that. But I did make some progress ish with my latest eval, so it's still waiting to get finished. But I had my counseling from my boss about it, and long story short, I kind of challenged, not challenged, but like I was like, hey, do I need to be, does this pack the punch of me being a lieutenant colonel? Like, you need to, like, be very assertive in this and say, it's the last chance I get, like, let's do this thing. And he was helpful and said all the right things. But then he did say, like, hey, lieutenant colonels don't walk around on eggshells. So you need to stop walking around on eggshells. I was like, oh, okay, that like, hey, I'm gonna start, not literally, but I'm gonna start like just doing my thing. I'll probably get put in my place in about 2 weeks. So,
all good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start sending it. So I think that's good. It's like a little bit of okay, like let me just start doing my thing. So that's good. And then for the training stuff, so I have been swimming, biking, and running. I'm doing the triathlon thing. So I signed up for that other race in May. My jammers, my swim trunks showed up yesterday, so I'm gonna swim in them tomorrow. And I suck at swimming. I like literally I'm trying to learn how to swim. I mean, I know how to swim, but like it was so pathetic. I was holding onto the wall with my head down, just practicing going like this. Like, just like against the wall. And then I'm like swimming with a little floaty between my legs so I can stay upright instead of sinking. It's a whole thing. I'm watching
So you
videos
just look
now
like a
on it.
total loser.
Yes. But I had a couple people from work go with me to the pool, and so there's more coming to the pool with me tomorrow. And then I got tri shorts that have like a little cushion for the ass when you're biking, so it's a little more comfortable. And
Uh huh.
so I was talking to someone at the gym the other day, and now this other guy, he goes to the gym and he has a dog. He's like a service dog, and so of course I'm friends with him, and I pet the dog. His dog's name is Hero, and I've befriended this individual, and he came to my last poker night, and he won, so that's kind of cool for him. But like randomly, just bullshit. I'm like, hey man, I have do you play poker? He's like, oh, I love play. I was like, having a game on Friday. You want to come? And so now we're friends. And I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a triathlon. I was just bullshitting with him. He's like, oh, I used to do triathlons. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, we're going 20-mile bike ride on Saturday now. I was like, okay. So now I'm doing a 20-mile bike ride with him on Saturday on like real roads, and I'm like kind of scared because I don't know how to ride a bike, and I have the thing where you put your pedals, that you clip in.
Yeah, you clip in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna fall. So yeah, so it's been good, but it's definitely been low stress because I'm not like training seriously for an event. You know what I mean? The sprint is gonna
Uh
be
huh.
like it's not like something I know I have to train for. Because I'm not gonna go for a time. I'm just gonna go for completion. Obviously push myself, but I know when I was running like the marathon, I wanted like a sub 3:30, and then I wanted a sub like 3:20. So it was like I was working towards that time. These I'm just gonna like I don't want to drown, So and then I want to be
It's a
like little
good
kids.
goal.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's how that's going. That was a
Well, I
lot.
mean
Sorry.
no, that sounds really good. I'm really stoked for you. I I have a feeling, this is just a feeling, so let me know if I'm wrong. I have a feeling that once you do this, like, and you actually like train for it and everything like that, then it's going to be your new thing. And then your new life goal is going to be to knock out like a full Iron Man or something. And you're just going to completely throw everything you have into it. I feel like that's kind of what you like to do. Is that fair or is that way off?
That is 100% fair. I do have a super addictive personality. Um, so yeah, I think after I do one or two of these, it's gonna be like, okay, well, what's next? And there is a half in September, so people are already asking me about it. And I think once I get comfortable swimming, like I could bite that. That's easy. That will just take a while, and my ass will hurt. And a 13-mile run I can do without any prep. Like a full is like a whole nother story. I would have to like really train. Um, but I do think eventually I'll do it because I know people that do Ironmans. I'm like, what? I'm in better shape than them. Like, so of course I want to be, but I want to be like a jacked Ironman. Like,
Yeah,
let's
you
be
want to
like,
look amazing.
yeah, I want to be like 185 plus. Maybe like let's in maybe a year or two I could be up to 200 pounds maybe of like 12% muscle. 12% body
So,
fat and all that muscle. So that, we'll see.
right. Now, St. Draco asked, are you like a short-term addict or a long-term addict? Because me,
Yeah.
I'm short-term, right? Like I have ADHD like crazy. So I'm like, I'm all in
Hmm.
for the afternoon. And then the next day I'm like, I'm just not into it anymore. Like I got really into bonsai and I was into it for like 2 weeks and I bought a bunch of junk and then I killed all my plants and that was it. You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, but I feel like you have a little bit more staying power than I do
Hmm.
regarding kind of, these passions that come up. So what would you say?
Yeah,
Do you get like on these little tangents or is it more of like once you're in, you're in?
I think once I'm in, but it has to be. It's I would say it's more of like goal oriented. So once I set a goal, then I'm in for that goal. So like doing just things here and there, I'm the same. I'm very like squirrel. Um, I'll be motivated to do something at this point, but if it's just something random where I haven't assigned a goal to it, then I don't think I'm as disciplined with it. But if I'm saying, hey, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to sign up for something and pay for it in advance, and I know I can't like procrastinate my way to it, then I'll be locked in. Like I've been trying to set more goals and discipline with like my music stuff, but the problem is everything I'm doing I can procrastinate and get away with. So I've yet to be like checked on my procrastination. So if I do, then I think I would be humbled and I'd be like, oh shoot, now let me do that. So, but yeah.
Okay. I feel like you and your music
Mm-hmm.
is similar to me and my writing, where it's like I'm good enough
Yeah.
and I have these big ambitions. Oh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna write a book. Whereas you're like, okay, I'm gonna learn a new song once a week and post it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just always like falls by the wayside,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Which is interesting because, like, at least like in my case, I really deep in my bones want to be a writer, like deep.
Okay.
But then, if it's like I could go write right now, or I could watch an episode of Seinfeld that I've seen 9 times,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Seinfeld, you know? So it's like that internal identity of being a writer who doesn't write.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that as a musician? Or are you good enough that you're like, I'm actually a musician? Like I can grind.
Yeah, I think I am good enough, but it's like anything. When you start surrounding yourself with others, like comparison, like the groups I play in, there's really good musicians, and I feel like shit about myself all the time. And after every rehearsal on Sundays, I'm like, I need to practice more, and because I just feel like crap. And then life gets in the way, and I'm like, well, I'm third chair, or I'm playing third part, and it doesn't really matter if I get this part right or not. So like, there's no pressure for me to really turn it on. Um, but if I need to, I think I have enough fundamentals, enough skill set, enough like discipline to practice something. So like, I have an Easter gig and I have these two songs or whatever. Like, I've been practicing the last couple of days, and because I'm not going to sound like an idiot when it's just me, But if I can
Yeah.
hide, then it's like, oh, okay, I'll just lay that part out. And same thing when I'm in a shittier band and I'm playing like the first part. There's more pressure for me to practice. So because other people are relying on me. So I think that's what kind of drives me sometimes when other people rely on me. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
mean, no, that totally makes sense. I'm kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like it's just like if I have to do something for someone else, I'm all over it, right? So if I had to write a book because it's due, like for a class or something, dude, I can pound out a book. It might not be great,
Yeah.
but maybe it's the daunting task of like, at least for me, it's I want to do something I'm really proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And that intimidates me and makes me quit because I'm somewhat of a perfectionist in that sense. But if I'm doing it for someone else, I'm like, this passes the minimum, therefore it's fine.
Yeah.
So I feel like you know what? I just had an epiphany,
Okay.
life changing. Like, I have way too high of standards for myself, which is hilarious because I let myself get away with everything. But like, just in some aspects,
Yeah.
I gotta chill out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, you'll be fine. It'll be okay.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Okay. Cool. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna completely pivot.
No, well,
So
I was too, but I don't know where you're pivoting. Where are you pivoting? I'll let you know if I'm pivoting.
I was gonna pivot to: is there any change in kind of the atmosphere at work, given kind of what's going on right now? But I'm interested where you're gonna pivot.
Okay,
where are you
so
gonna go?
I'll say, and then we can decide what we want to talk about. I was just gonna pivot to the video that you sent, about how dad bods are hotter than hot people. But yeah, which one? I don't know which one we want to talk about. I watched it immediately after you sent it to me.
Yeah, I know. You were like, dude, that's crazy. And it's like, oh, we actually watched it? Let's go.
I actually followed my task, that I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want to hit first? You want to hit the heavy stuff, and then we can hit the light stuff after?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's start with really quick. Let me read my chat.
Okay.
Really quick. But yeah, like what's I've got the perfect face for print. Thank you. Some uglies nuts. Man, dude, everyone's freaking popping off. All right, so let's talk about the Marines, dude. So
Okay.
are y'all hearing anything, or is it just kind of like this isn't your problem?
I think that's mainly how it is. Really not our problem. And I think especially for where I'm at, like at a schoolhouse, you know, where we don't we're not deployable. You know what I mean? Like we're kind of away from it. It kind of takes, I feel like, years for things to update at the schoolhouse, anyways. Like the things that we're teaching and stuff. They technically have a like a deployment schedule that I think the last time it was used is like in the early 2000s, where it's like you can teach for 12 hours and 6 days a week, you know, to try to
Mm-hmm.
get Marines out to the fleet faster. But yeah, we ain't doing that. I'm like, now, okay, so we did have a comment. Now, I'm the worst person. You know me. I'm the worst person to ask about these things. So, you know how? I mean, within the last couple of years, I don't know how many years it is, but China's like the new bad guy. Like China's like the new
Yeah.
thing, and so everyone like loves this, and it's super sexy because you know we're amphibious, and we're getting back to our naval roots. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't done any of this kind of stuff in like years, so we're like we need to relearn it, and so we had this conversation. I guess they have these like in the officer classes they have these discussions, you know, in the mornings, and it was about force design 2030, which they've actually taken away to 2030 because the Marine Corps is not going to do it in time. So it's just force design, basically going back to the amphibious roots, getting rid of all like that's how we got rid of tanks and all that sort of stuff. So there's like these discussions, and these Marines are like talking about stuff and things, and I sit in the back, and it's pretty interesting. And they always at the end, no matter what the discussion topic is on, they always like, "Sir, do you have anything? Do you want to add anything?" And I'm like, "So, absolutely. Let me get on my podium real
Oh
quick."
no.
And, but it's funny because they were talking about like somehow the conversation shifted to, do we need a Marine Corps? What does the Marine Corps provide that the Army and the Navy and the Air Force can't do, right? And like everything is becoming a joint force, anyways, nowadays. We're basically using all of our stuff, and a lot of them are young and motivated, and they're like, "Oh, the Marine Corps is amazing. We need a Marine Corps because we're the most badass, you know, and we're the best." And I just hate that because I think it's. I understand where they're coming from, but I pretty much said, you know, I don't really know about this China stuff. I don't really know about this force design stuff, and I don't really care because I try to only use my brain power, the limited that I have, to focus on the things that I can control. You know, so I think even if you wanted to prepare for the next fight, the best thing you could do is develop critical thinkers, develop Marines who are physically strong, mentally, emotionally strong, like able to adapt on the fly. Like you don't necessarily need to be teaching them like uh, contested logistics and littorals when you're at like a battalion in like California. Like, you know, you're just chilling. So teaching them just how to like complex solve, be problem solvers and stuff like that. But I'm like, this whole thing about y'all thinking you are like special because you're in the Marine Corps, which is kind of ironic because they're in the Marine Corps, they're right there. But I said, you know, you take that uniform off, does that make you any less of a man? Like you put on an army uniform instead? Are you not a good leader anymore? And I'm just trying to get them to like see it like that doesn't define you. Like you are in the Marine Corps because of what you brought to the table. The Marine Corps didn't make you the leader you are. Like it sought you out and recruited you because you would be successful no matter what. So I'm trying to teach them to believe in themselves because I know for me, I believed in the propaganda for a long time. And then the minute I started valuing myself more than the Marine Corps, I was like, oh, my life just got better. Like I'm the one that brings worth to the Marine Corps, not the other way around. So that was like kind of my. I know that dovetail. We're not going to World War III, but that was what I provided in that context. When they're like, "Hey, what are we doing about China?" I was like, "I don't know. China's not a big deal." I'm like, "There are trade part. We need them for like business. We're not going to war with them." So,
Man, that is quite a speech.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm motivated.
you know,
Wow.
I got some nuggets here and there. You know.
I was about to say, like, that really surprised me. Dang. I would expect you to get up there and it just been like, this is all stupid, and you know, like,
Oh yeah.
man. But it's just like you. or
Yeah.
the special one, not the Marine Corps.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
Because
everybody clap or were they pissed?
no, they well, the cool thing is they can't really disagree with me, you know. So
Yeah, that's it. They can't.
I just get a
Once you
whole
walk out of the room, they're like, "Where'd you get this guy, dude?
yeah. Who the
What was
hell is
that?"
this dumbass? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think what I've noticed is, and I don't think a lot of our um, older people in the Marine Corps understand. They don't understand this newer generation because a lot of the Marines I talk to, they will tell me the truth, like in private. They'll be like, "Hey, I really appreciate that you always talk about how we can just be ourselves. We don't have to pretend because like it just gets beat into us that you have to be this oorah oorah all the time. You can't show any weakness. You can't have any vulnerability. And it's like I just want you to be a normal person. And when you fuck up, I'll tell you it. But then when you do a great job, I'll tell you it. Like I'm just so open, and a lot of people tell me I'm too honest and I'm too open. I'm too vulnerable, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm still the boss. Like I don't care. But I think a lot of them appreciate it, and a lot of the older people don't understand that's how you have to approach this younger generation. Even little things like I tell them all that I used to stream on Twitch, and they're like, "Oh, what? Oh, like because they all know what it is, you know." Whereas like the old people don't, and they think it's so interesting that I used to do that. So it's different to try to reach them. But I actually have a meeting tomorrow morning. We're doing breakfast with my mentorship group. So we have a small mentorship. So there's four of them in my group. We talk about different things, and of course, like all the other groups are meeting like during working hours or at lunch or something. And I'm like, "Yo, we're getting breakfast out in town. We're not coming to work until 10. I'll meet y'all at 8, and we're gonna. You can get mimosas if you want. I don't really care. And we're gonna talk about some stuff." And I was telling this to one of the other my groups, and someone overheard, and they're like, "We don't do mentorships. Our officer hasn't had any with us yet." And I was like, "Oh, who is that again?" And he told me, I was like, "So now you're throwing him under the bus." Okay, I see how it is. And like they're like, "Wait, am I not supposed to say that?" It's hilarious.
Is it
But
with
yeah.
like junior Marines or what?
Uh,
Like
it
enlisted?
no, for me it's the lieutenants, the second lieutenants. So
Okay.
yeah, they don't want me. The flat black doesn't want me tainting, their population. So, because next thing you know, no one would be following any orders.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
I did give a class to one of the enlisted class about physical fitness and PT. So, um, oh look, we're talking about mentorship meeting. Literally, they just messaged me. Reminder: mentor meeting at 08 at Chicanos. See, look at that. We're going
You're
to a
going to a place
Mexican
named
Mexican
Chicanos?
yeah Mexican breakfast.
That's unpatriotic.
Well,
I can't believe
I'm
that.
all inclusive. I'm inclusive.
Oh, nice.
So, what do you think about World War III?
Brother, man, you know what? I'll pop off. I got time.
Okay, yeah, let's get it.
Nah, dude. I think there's a reason nobody went for Iran in the last, 20 years. We got people all over the place in the Middle East blowing up stuff all the time, but nobody went and hit Iran.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason. And it's because it's a bad idea. So I think kind of what's going on right now might be one of the stupidest things that we have done as a country in maybe the last.
Okay.
When was Iraq? The first one, 2005,
2003, I think,
2003,
right?
something like that.
2003,
Yeah, three. Yeah, so I think probably, yeah, since then, I think it's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I think it was poorly planned. I think if you want to hit Iran, you know what? Make a case. My biggest problem. Here's my biggest problem. Let me just lay it out.
Okay.
My biggest problem is that they didn't ask the American people what they wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that they didn't even. Not only did they not ask, they didn't even try to convince us, as a population that like this might be worth it. Because I'm willing to put up with a lot. I love my country. I think we're the best country ever.
Yeah.
But not doing this kind of thing,
Yeah.
And you need to sell it. You need to sell it to me, and they didn't sell it to me. And I'm open. I used to be a neocon like back 15 years ago. I'm open to bad ideas. I'm down to run it. Let's try it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I just think that they did a really poor job of planning it. I think the administration purposefully kept it under wraps. And I think probably the biggest issue that I have is that they're continually, well, first off, they don't have a coherent um, argument for why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think we're doing it for Israel. And I don't think we should be doing anything for anybody that's not us.
Yeah.
Unless like, like if we want to do it for our interests, that's fine. I don't think we should be doing things for Israel's interests. I think they can worry about themselves. They've been dragging us into stuff for quite a while. I'm kind of over it at this point. But then thirdly, I hate that we go and we do something that's a bad idea and then we expect everybody else to bail us out.
Yeah.
With like, oh yeah, now we need help to get people through the Strait of Hormuz. It's like, what are you talking about, dude? This was
did
your
you see
idea.
what he said after that? I guess he's like, we don't need anyone.
Oh, dude. Oh, brother. I get so frustrated. They didn't show up. We don't need them. We don't want them. But they didn't show up. So it tells me a lot. What are you talking about, dude? You have dementia. Chill out. Go, play a game of golf and shut up.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my take. Where are you at?
So I kind of, so you know me, I'm basically like an isolationist. So I don't really like getting involved in anything, especially if especially putting like American people or American troops in harm's way unnecessarily, and I guess biggest thing is I don't like that gas is going up because anytime we get into these stupid things, the capitalist society and oil companies will take advantage of it, even though nothing might change. Like nothing might change, and they're just gonna jack our prices up for no reason because of speculation and all this other stuff. So that sucks. I do think we seem to be helping out Israel a lot, and I just don't understand. Maybe there's some bigger politics in play here, but like, what are we getting from them? Like, what are they doing for us?
Yeah.
And maybe you could argue they're fighting the good fight over there, like they're our puppet, I guess. But or maybe we're their puppet, like who knows? But also, like if they weren't there, would it have any effect on us here? And I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know. What's the big deal? So I tend to agree with that aspect of it. I do find, I don't know if I agree or disagree, but I do find it interesting the flex that we are doing around the world right now. I think that is, I don't know if it's a good thing, but we're just showing what we're capable of. Like taking out world leaders, going in, like doing stuff, bombing people. Like we're pretty much showing, hey, we're gonna swing it around until someone tells me to stop. Like, but
yeah.
And it's just it's a slippery slope because it's okay if we are on the moral high ground, but the minute we start losing the moral high ground, I think that becomes problematic. So
yeah, I feel like with this conflict in particular, no case was made. Which like cases have been made against Iran for the last 45 years, but like nothing, like there was no imminent threat according to most people. The administration said we went because Israel was going to go. We didn't have a choice. What you want to know? This is what I truly think. Okay, let's get conspiratorial because we got 5 minutes left. Let's hit it.
Yeah.
I think. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think that the Israelis definitely have something on Trump.
Ooh.
And it probably has some kind of tie-in with Epstein, because Epstein was allegedly, an Israeli agent.
Oh.
Like a Mossad connection or something.
Okay.
So apparently the Israelis were using him in his house as kind of like a thing to get blackmail on people. So the story is that the Israelis were working with Epstein and they got in like something on Trump back like way in the past, and now they're the ones walking him. So there's a reason why he's doing everything that they want, and it's because they have something on him.
Yeah.
What do you think? Of all the conspiracy theories in the world, I feel like that one is probably pretty.
It is interesting reasonable. How it's like, hey, we're gonna release all this stuff when I'm in there and I'm in charge, and now it's kind of like, where is it all? Like, this is it? Like, what are we getting? Like, where is it? What are we doing? So that's interesting. The only thing is like, what I don't understand. I mean, maybe that's the case. he doesn't seem like a person that's gonna allow himself to get bullied though. Like if we're talking about taking out nations, wouldn't we just be like, okay, you got something on me? I'm gonna take care of this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what
Yeah.
I like. I don't know, but I, it seems like when you get to it, unless it's like super criminal where you're gonna go to jail, but like then you gotta look at how old you are and like what's the cost benefit analysis of like, oh, send me to prison, I'm 90. But like you already made it. You're the most powerful person. Like, who cares if they let something out that's gonna ruin your reputation? That's what the weirdest thing to me is. It's something about these narcissists, these ego, like where, and I see this in the Marine Corps too. Like, you get to a certain rank, and I've always been like, hey, if I can get a pension, I can provide. I don't care to get promoted. I don't care about the status. Like that doesn't define me. That doesn't make me who I am. But these people just need it, and they're so afraid to lose
Yeah.
it. And it's like, God, they must be so empty inside, you know. So it's weird to me that he would even care. I'd be like, okay, yeah, release send it. Let people think what they want. Like,
Right, but the question is, okay, so there's certain things where it's like, oh, they caught me with a prostitute, whatever, right? Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
one thing.
Stormy
But they're like,
Daniels.
oh, we caught you in a threesome, with Epstein and a 14-year-old. That's kind of a different game,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Now again, I'm deep in it. I'm deep in it. But I'm telling you, dude, like with the whole Epstein thing, the Epstein class, I think everybody's guilty. Throw them all in jail. I don't really care.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense some of the moves that we're making. But like to go back to what you were talking about earlier, with kind of like we hit Venezuela and we got Maduro. And like now we're doing all these military campaigns like Midnight Hammer in Iran back in like what was it, like June or something.
Mhm.
Like all of these kind of like military excursions. I think that this is all or a lot of it is a play on Trump's legacy,
Mhm.
where he's like the American presidents who get remembered are the ones who conquer land. Like the whole Greenland thing, for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
example, is another one. And
Changing
I
Gulf
think
America.
he's
You know.
oh yeah. So it's just like I think that's the play here. Because it doesn't strategically these moves don't really make sense. Economically they don't make sense.
Mhm.
Um in any kind of like normal like standard time, it doesn't really make sense because we're isolating our allies. We're emboldening people who are like kind of fighting against us. So, like for example, Iran
Mhm.
is now saying you can pass through the strait if you do it in yuan, as opposed to the U.S. dollar, like the petrodollar.
Yeah.
So it's like, so they're purposefully pushing people away from us. Meanwhile, we have a president who's just going balls up crazy. I don't know what he's talking about. His administration's a freaking mess. None
Mhm.
of them have any idea what they're doing. Like it's I don't know, dude. I think it's a guy with dementia and he's just trying to play Risk right now and
Mhm.
just trying to get as many pieces in his corner before he freaking
Yeah.
croaks. And then
Yeah.
the rest of us got to sit here and figure it all out afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I think that last point is key in what you mentioned earlier about how we do all these things without asking Congress, um, which is problematic in general. But it's ironic because Congress doesn't do anything to stop it, so someone's got to at least grow a pair at some point. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just think all of the elite class up there, I mean, they're playing their own game, and we're all pawns to it. Which
Yeah.
is kind of sad. I don't know how you get it back. I mean, I don't know if you ever get it back. Like every every level up there, like what isn't there a saying or something about like absolute power corrupts absolutely or something like that? Like it's just
Hmm.
it's hard. I think probably most people that get into politics probably do it for the right reasons, and then to make it to that level, you got to lose a piece of your soul. Um, so yeah, I agree about that. I don't know. I wish Congress would be like, hey, no, you can't be doing this. We're not going to fund these things. We're going to shut the government down. We're going to do whatever we need to do to take back. Like, what we haven't declared war since like World War II. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it is. We'll see what happens. Hey, as long as they maybe give me some raises and promote me. I'm down.
Oh, dude, if I see you on the news, have you ever seen the drone videos where they're like, it's a drone following someone and then goes and blows them up? It's really
Oh
depressing.
yeah.
If I see you in one of those, I'm gonna be pissed. So, because then I gotta find a new co-host.
That's true.
So
That's
keep
true.
it together,
Well,
and
every
stay
time
safe.
there's like deployment opportunities, I guess you'll call them, these augments or whatever. My last year there was an opportunity. My boss asked me if I wanted to go, and it was like one of those things, like where they ask you and you're not supposed to say no. Like you're supposed to be, oh, I'm ready at all times. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to go. And then my boss was like, well, why this and that? And I'm like, look, I'm ready to go if I need to. Like I got my shit squared away, but I specifically sought out this billet, which is a non-deployable unit, because I want to be here to train and mentor young Marines. If I wanted to deploy, I would have gone to a different unit. Like, what are we talking about here? And I was like, and don't ding me on my fit rep because I don't want to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say your fit rep's gonna be kind of rough, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, so I won't be going anywhere anytime soon, hopefully. So,
Okay,
but that's a hard thing. What if they're like, yo, we'll promote you, but I was like, oh damn. I mean, I guess maybe 6 months I could do that. Like, so I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, what you would be? What, a logistics officer in like Qatar or something?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. That's where most of them will go and hang out over there.
I mean, they're not getting hit too hard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
roll the dice.
Yeah, begin some hazard pay, tax free, separations pay.
Yeah, Carrie gets a break.
Yeah,
yes, good for everybody.
Yes. I would probably get more jacked than I ever know. Like, can you imagine?
Oh yeah,
lifting I would get. Yeah, that's wild. But speaking of getting jacked, so what do you think about the video? So for all the context for the listeners and viewers, CP sent me a video, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm trying to remember because I watched it last week when I was driving. And
nice.
Yeah, Carrie's like, stop watching YouTube videos. I was like, Rick sent me this. I have to do my research.
You watch it with her in the car?
Yeah. She's just reading books. She doesn't. Oh, I know, because it's like talking about like what women find attractive and all this stuff. And I was like,
yeah, and she's like, what are these idiots talking?
Yeah. And I'm like, do I have a dad bod? And I was like, and she's like, no. It's just funny. But yeah. So basically, it compared two guys and what guys think are attractive versus girls, and it's different. And I like the point where men just compete against each other. So I thought that was interesting. I like the animal connection that it talks about because that's what every other pretty much animal does. And then it's definitely not appropriate anymore. But we could just say, hey, this is the best one. You gotta take it. Like this is what you got, woman.
Yeah.
But so maybe we've evolved past that, and the men just haven't. We've been slow to understand the evolution.
Right. Okay. Let's give a little bit more context.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the video was basically looking at the before and after of a guy on Twitter. He did a before and after picture. In the first picture, he's maybe 20% body fat, clearly muscular, but like no definition really. Just a regular looking guy with some muscle definition. Pretty good looking dude. In the second one, it's him shredded. He's probably like 12, 13% body fat. Looks great. Really lean. Flexing. He just did finished a cut. And the Twitter question was, which do you prefer, the before or the after? And it was based on if you're a dude or a chick. And what ended up happening is that all the guys thought the after picture looked better, where he was super thin, really lean. And the women preferred the one where he was a little, not stocky is the wrong word, but where he had more body fat, normal, no visible six pack or anything like that. And all the guys were on there were saying, you're lying. All you chicks are lying. We all know that you're into the shredded version. You're just basically saying that you like the quote unquote fat guy, just to be normal, but we know what you really want. All the women were like, nah, dude. Why would we want someone who's absolutely shredded when you can have someone who's still in decent shape, dad bod according to them, but that's body, in what inflation? I don't know if that's the right word, but like, but why would we want somebody who's shredded and all that? So then it breaks down kind of the idea of what's the difference between someone who's shredded and someone who's in pretty good shape but not like crazy. So and there was a video breaking that down.
Yeah.
So what do you think? So first off, let's start with like, what do you prefer of those two? Which do you think look better, the shredded guy or the not? And then secondly, what do you think women truly believe? And then, yeah, just let me know.
So I think the shredded guy. So I agree. I think men but it's probably because we all desire that as well, right? Um, so I think that, and I think the women one is a little bit more complicated or complex. I could see based off of some of the things that the video talked about, if they're just looking at face value, like real quick, like 1 second, like I think they're gonna think the shredded guy looks objectively better. But if you're saying like, who would you want to be in a relationship with long term, maybe that's where you start making some assumptions, because there's a lot of assumptions thrown around about how the guy could provide, be safe, not like so focused about himself, to get to that level of leanness. But those are all like, we don't know that's so individual basis. But like a quick look, like this dude, and I don't think women are thinking when they made the claim, oh, this guy with more body fat can survive longer. No, look, we're in like the modern day, you know what I mean? Like, so I think at face value, I think the women think the shredded guy is better. But maybe if they're thinking like, because they're insecure with themselves, who do I want to be with? They want to be with someone who doesn't challenge them and makes them feel like shit. So
yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
I think so. Of those two, obviously, I thought the shredded guy was like better looking, in better shape, all that kind of stuff. Again, like kind of echoing off of what you said, because I desire that. I want to be shredded. I want to be in great shape. And then also, I feel like, especially now, maybe I think is probably since like all the superhero movies became big, but like the biggest stars and movies and everything are ripped. Like they're giant, they're on the juice, they're all sub 15 body fat. Like, so that's what continually gets reinforced. And that's kind of what I'm like, what I would want to look like, So I veer towards that, and I feel like most guys do. As far as the women go, I immediately thought of what do women really prioritize? What's important to them? And this is based on me. Obviously, money. Okay. No, not really. But don't get me fired.
Clip it.
So, but like honestly, probably safety is a big one. Empathy, work ethic, all that kind of garbage, right? So then I think, what are the sacrifices I had to make to get into decent shape? And it's like quite a bit, right? Like you got to watch your calories, you got to do that, you got to spend a lot of time thinking about it. And then I was thinking, what does Zomig have to go through to get to the shape he was in? Starve yourself, hate your life for 9 months, like crazy amounts of commitment, and all of those things do not benefit your partner, right? And also, there's a certain level of ego that's required in order to be like, I want to look like this, I need to look like this. So that's what hit me. Was like the amount of effort that it would take to get to that level would be a huge turnoff if I'm married to someone like that. So like if my wife, for example, wanted to get completely like in great shape or whatever, that would be kind of a turnoff to me. Or like if someone's already there, because it's like what's the level of commitment that requires? And like, am I willing to put up with that? So I think, and also women don't look at looks as much as they look as guys do. They're not as physically driven. Which is great news for me because I don't have any hair. So yeah, so I could see it's like, okay, so what is packaged within this physical form that like you have to go through and analyze,
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point too, because I think there's a difference between what you want to be in a relationship versus what you would be initially attracted to. You know what I mean? Those are two different things. So I do think there's some aspects of that. I also think it's relative because, like you were saying, the quote unquote fat guy was not fat, right? Like, so
Yeah,
he
not
is
at
like
all.
a he's like a 9 out of 10 for most men, and then the other guy's a 10, right? So they're both like great. And also, I think to that same context, because I've done a bodybuilding prep, that guy is not peeled, right? He's not like ready to step on a stage and win like a bodybuilding contest, right? Like he was great shape, but he's not at like the 8%, 7% body fat where he can't probably live a normal life. If I was looking at him, like you're saying, like he's probably like 12, 10 to 12,
Yeah.
8%, like you can still sustain a normal life. You're probably going to be a little bit regimented with your routine, but you're not missing out on social functions, particularly yet. Like, but if you're at the like 8, 7%, yeah, now you're kind of in it. Um, so I think a little bit of that is because I wasn't like, oh my god, like he's like the best shredded guy on bodybuilding. He was like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
not
yeah.
at all. Not at all.
So
Yeah,
so
he
I
was in
think for
good shape.
me, relative, it's like okay, I know how much leaner people can really get. So it's not that crazy, and so to get to that, he doesn't have to lose himself. Um, but I did think it was interesting just to kind of talk when it was talking about what the women um, value or think of. And I agree, like we were talking about, like the safety, the security. Um, but I don't know. I mean, the really in shape guy, in my mind, if I was looking at this objectively, would prove to me that he has the discipline, determination, and all these other things to get that done. So he has a certain good work ethic, certain like aspect to show up every day, do the right thing, and then you
Mhm.
can help balance him out because that's what couples are supposed to do anyway. So you can help. Maybe he's just missing that other person that needs to provide that emotional support to him so that he can be vulnerable, right? Like like there's so much to it because it's
There
pretty.
is.
That's what happens when people get married. They both get out of shape, and then they have a midlife crisis, and then they get in shape again. It's like
Okay, but let me ask you something.
okay,
You spend a lot of time in the gym, you talk to a lot of people.
yeah.
In general, what kind of guys are in good or like sub 15 hit the gym every day? Like what kind of people are they in general for like say that guy's what, maybe 30?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So a 30-year-old guy in great shape, what kind of person typically is that?
So I think, and again, it might depend on where you live. Here specifically, because no one would live here if they had a choice.
Yeah.
Um, it's actually a lot of like married dudes with young kids. Um, yeah,
Are they all in the military?
yeah, or they got out. You know what I mean? Like, or they got out
Yeah.
or whatever. So there's not a lot. At least the gym I go to, right? There's not a lot of the um like frat boy partying, like people who like treat women like shit kind of thing. Like
Hmm.
all the jacked dudes are like, oh yeah, my wife, this and that. Like, well, I got my kids, and oh, I got like a 1 year old, so I have to come early in the morning to. Now maybe it's because I go early, right? This might be a data point, like because I go at 5,
Yeah.
so maybe I'm locked in with the mature people. But like if you go at the end of the day, maybe that's where all the people will be chasing tail, So that might be a point. Um, yeah, I didn't think
Yeah,
about
because
that till just then.
typically if I see somebody who's in really good shape, typically, like I don't automatically think they're a bad person or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I think there's probably a level of vanity there,
Yes, one hundred
right?
percent.
Of what do other people think about me? Because you're literally in a gym surrounded with mirrors so you can stare at yourself lifting, right? I love that.
Yep.
And
Big
I'm a pretty vain person. So it's like so it tracks, right? Um so that's just another aspect of it, right? Where it's like the kind of people who are willing to get that shredded, or not shredded, but
Yep.
like in that good of shape, there has to be a level of vanity there.
Yeah.
Unless they just happen to be in a career or like a passionate about like they're an athlete or something.
Yeah.
But that guy was just on a cut. That was clearly a
That
aesthetic move.
that makes sense too,
So
though, because like, yeah, because I mean, I think it might have talked about like the testosterone and stuff like that. Like that, it's just natural for men to like be competitive and look into that. So it does make sense that women maybe would not be as interested in that. Like as long as they provide enough safety, security, like the extra doesn't really matter to them.
Hmm.
Um, but I also, on the flip side, I do think people, but maybe women more, this is a huge generalization, tend to not want to look like assholes either. And they're going to say like the safe answer, instead. Like, I feel like guys would be like,
Yeah.
nah, she ain't it. Like,
Uh-huh.
so, and, maybe there's a little bit of this, it ties into like the dating aspect of maybe it's a little bit though, in the sense that women can get any man whenever, but men can't do that. So they can be a little bit more picky and stuff. So like, oh yeah, he looks fine because yeah, you could lay him whenever you wanted, but like the guy's got to be like try to get you. It's like harder for them.
You are literally making the argument that all the guys on Twitter were making about how it's like, I know they're lying. I know they're lying. Would it truly be hard for you to believe
Mm-hmm.
that women would be more attracted? So I'm not even talking about like in a long-term relationship, but like more attracted to a guy with more body fat within obviously
So
within
it's
reason.
probably got to be like what is that range then, right?
I'm just talking about those two,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
20 as opposed to like 13 or whatever.
I mean, I could see that. Yeah. I don't think that's so ridiculous. Like, there's probably, like, if you get below 10, I can see where that's gross. If you get above, like, 25, 30%, that's gross. The in-between, there's so much, like, well, do they have hair? Do they not? What's their facial structure? How tall are they? There's so much other stuff that could be. But they did do that with the face, right? They did the thing just with the face, which was
Yeah.
interesting.
And the fat guys won.
Yeah. That's weird. I don't know. I don't believe it. I need some more studies. I need some studies.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so counterintuitive, right? Because you're continually told like once you get shredded, you can have your pick of the women.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily true.
Well, I will say, well, with that, I think it can't hurt. Well, maybe it can hurt a little bit, but I think still other things like status, money, confidence, funny, all that is huge as well. You know what I mean? You gotta have some game. But I do think since I have my transformation and got in really great shape, I care about how I look way more than how Carrie thinks I look. Like, she barely will ever say anything. I'm like, honey, I'm fat now. Like, I've got this body dysmorphia. I still look jacked, right? She's like, sure. And I'm like, well, but what about when I was shredded? Did you like that? She's like, sure. And I'm like, no, no.
Why don't you care about me? Validate me.
Yes. You know what I mean? I'm like, all of this suffering. But
oh man.
Yeah, definitely. But it's one of those things where, and I'm speaking just for us, whereas like she doesn't have to say all those things because she has right now. But I think when she looks at our friends and their husbands or whatever, she definitely appreciates it. It's like, okay, yeah, my husband's a fucking stud and he's got discipline and he works hard. But it's also because I work hard for my job and career and I provide. We have a nice house. Like all those other things are also aspects of it. I'm just basically better.
Yeah.
In all ways.
The truth is, she's proud of you and she likes showing you off.
Yeah.
And there's a big part of that because like, yeah. So when Bubbly Latina, like if we're just like running around or whatever, I'll be like, dude, you look busted because she'll just like she'll be in her PJs, face all messed up and everything, and she's like, Richard, I'm gonna do what I want, and she's just like, she just owns it because she knows she can turn it on.
Yeah.
But then if we're like going somewhere and she like looks amazing or whatever, I'm like, there we go. That's that's mine, kind of thing. And it's like, so yeah, looking good for your partner is like huge. So that's another element of it. It would have been really interesting in that video if they would have done somebody who's 35% body fat, someone who's 25% body fat, 20, 15, and then like 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And see where it would. I think it would probably end up at like, I think the 20% guy would win.
Yeah.
Again.
I'll have to find a video. I'll have to find it. I can't remember what the context of what it was, but they basically showed all body fat percentage for men and women. I can't remember if they talked about what they find the most attractive, but I know for me, it was like, okay, cool. That's where it starts to get too extreme, stuff like that. And they all talked about what they had to do to get there. And it was like,
was it Jeff Nippard?
It might have been.
I think I've seen this.
Yeah, it was like 50% all the way to 5%, and then for women it was like 50% all the way to like 10% or or something,
Mhm.
and the girl at 10% sounded like a man. But so, but I think for the women, it was really surprising about how much more body fat they have on them, and you can still look really good at like 25% body fat for a woman or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. Is definitely against the counterintuitive. Like it kind of confirmed the joke or stereotype when guys go to the gym and they're all like wearing skimpy stuff to show their muscles. It's really just other guys that are checking them out. You know?
That is for sure true.
Yeah.
I catch myself like,
Yes.
all the time. I'm like, dude, that guy's ripped.
Yeah.
I wish I could go talk to him, but I just don't know how.
But you're gonna know how after I post my video.
There we go.
I am gonna start posting more content after having that conversation today. I need to put some more meaningful stuff out there. I'm kind of lost right now with my Instagram because the bodybuilding prep's done. So I'm gonna figure that out. I think doing some stuff on the YouTube, doing some shorts on Instagram and YouTube. Maybe make a long form, like an 8-minute video of like, something. Maybe I can mess around with that. We'll see if this is actually dedication or just a little bit of glimpsing motivation. I gotta feel that out.
Look, okay, so my wife is coming home in like 2 weeks or something.
So we gotta bang out some stuff.
I'm gonna strap a camera to her forehead and I'm gonna become a freaking fitness YouTuber with a hernia until I get it operated on. So if I'm doing it, you're doing it because you're the one who actually you already done this already, where you make it real every day and you deal with all all that garbage. Mm-hmm. So don't let me outpace you, because I'll do it.
I need the competition because men and testosterone and I need to be like, oh, this guy's better than me. No.
You did the best content ever when it was the race to 500 or what, race to 1,000, brother. You were on every night, just like follow me, follow me, follow me.
Yes. I was gonna say competing with you and not ever be able to catch up was like, fuck. What do I need to do? I'll give you money. I will give you money.
Dude, those Warzone nights, I'm just like, if we win, you follow me. You have to.
Yeah.
Show up again.
And then I'll be like, hey, follow our tournament. I'm giving away $50. And then some random Russians would join.
Yeah. And then they follow you and unfollow you right after.
Yeah. Hey, the best content, though, was the follower rankings. I still, to these days, man, goated.
Dude, those are so good, man.
Yeah.
So good.
I don't really have any questions in my chat. My viewers were up and down. So it's interesting to see the YouTube. I'll have to watch the playback on the YouTube and see how it did. But I didn't really get any comments.
So yeah, I have one saying Draco. So it's just based on what we were just talking about. But he says it's interesting that you guys are dancing around the idea that all of this is socio-psychology. Okay. And it breaks down to there's an element of conditioning about society that deems good looking and what women find attractive from conditioning of social cues and safety.
So that does that go to your point that what we see, it's conditioning us to what we want to see? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so that kind of references or at least what I was talking about with, superheroes, they get super jacked and they're all on juice and everything. And that's kind of what we aspire to do. Whereas, you ask 50 years ago, which I think we've talked about this actually.
Yeah.
50 years ago, dudes were just, regular guys who were slightly toned.
Yeah.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger came and messed it all up.
Yeah, steroids. But 100 years ago, women didn't really have a choice. So
that is true.
So it is change. If you think about what our bodies naturally desire and how men want to compete for, whatever the video was talking about, how we decide. Everything has changed so dramatically, so fast over how we've been doing things for thousands of years. And so to that point, does the woman really in the brain and what they feel actually change, or is this just to this point content and what society is telling them they need to think? Is that really true? I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think also now we're constantly competing, and we're no longer competing with dudes on the block or dudes at work. or dudes at the beach. Now you're competing with literally every single person who has an internet connection.
That is true too. Yeah.
So it's like if you're not like how you have body dysmorphia, where it's like, okay, I'm 9% body fat this week, and last week I was 7, and I look better when I was at 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, in what world are you living in where that is like,
Yeah.
worth having a breakdown over? Not you, but just in general.
Yep. No, I have breakdowns. It's
but
okay.
it's like, yeah, it's just crazy,
Yeah.
like our expectations for ourselves are now being filtered through what are the most successful and artificial, because these aren't even real lifestyles that they're living. It's all fake, as we've continually seen. But it's like this fake propaganda of how do I, glamorize and glorify myself so that other people want to be me, and then everybody else, internalizes that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's impossible to win. So thanks for bringing that up, Saint Draco. We're all screwed.
Yeah, I know. Damn. Guess I'll have to continue starving myself for no reason.
Right? I mean, I really got to push this hernia through so I can get it operated on. So I can get back in the gym.
The best for you. I think that's awesome. You're going to train. That's one thing. I think it's always smart to listen to your body, and doctors are important. But you know how I feel about doctors.
I do know how you feel about doctors.
I think you know your body better than the doctor sometimes. You just gotta trust your gut,
Yeah. Well, my guts are gonna be in my nuts, so it's gonna be perfect.
I love it. That's a great tagline.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap it up, dude. Yeah. It was so good talking to you, and thanks everybody for freaking coming through.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
I had a great time.
I'm gonna do the video tomorrow. I'm excited about it. I'll post updates on my Instagram. Don't worry. Like in progress reviews, and then I'll have the completed product. It'll be good. Okay, we'll have it pulled up next week because I want us to review it on stream. Let's destroy it too. Let's just critique the fuck out of it. Oh, dude, I'm gonna let you know. This didn't inspire me at all. Fix it. Yeah, you're not funny. Oh, that'd be so. And then you can be brutal. You look kind of small. Oh, dude, you just off yourself right here on stream, dude. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, no. So, all right, great. Awesome. Well, cool. Everyone, appreciate you all. Yeah, it's been great. Also, maybe we'll get around to posting the VOD this week. Who knows? Yes, we'll see. Maybe. Probably not.